I think it's going to be everywhere. You're going to see many, many more contents being translated with AI. Translation can just easily open different doors. The amount of content being translated is going to bounce. It's just going to explode. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Gary. Welcome to the AllAboutAI.com exclusive interview series.
That's a great question. So I've been working in the AI field for the last 10 years. Originally, my background is in business and actually in video. And I switched to AI and data science in 2015 when I did my master's in data science at Columbia University. And then I was living in New York and I was working on the new chatbots that were coming up in 2016, 2017. I was working at Verizon, which is this big telecommunication company in the US, working on chatbot. I worked on AI generated music. So and also other AI video startups. So for a long time, I've been working in this AI field and I've been super excited, super passionate about the different use cases when it comes to AI. And actually, 2-3 years ago, I tried to already build Hello8. So I was in my previous company with a couple of guys and we said, okay, can we use AI to translate video? And when I say translate video, I'm not just saying subtitles. I mean like the voice, the lip sync, like the whole thing. And we're going to talk about it during the interview. And at that time, the technology was not good enough. Just to give you an example, you needed 30 minutes of voice recording to teach a model, to teach an AI to speak like you and to sound like you. Today, you only need 30 seconds. So it went from like 30 minutes to 30 seconds. And very recently, we've seen ChatGPT, all the new LLMs coming up, all the Gen AI wave. And so everything that was not possible 3 years ago is possible now. And that's how we came about with my co-founder building Hello8. Yeah, that's a really good point. So I'm French, and for a long time I was living in the US, and I met many people from many different backgrounds, and I've noticed how language is hard, and breaking the language barrier is really hard. I think translation is like this really profound thing that unites people when we can speak common language, like you and I. We're not coming from the same background, but we can understand each other. We both speak English, but let's say we were not able to speak English, this conversation would be really hard. And so this is a problem I experience as an individual, to be able to understand content from different languages. But I see that other people have the same problem, and I especially find this a common problem in companies, in industries. When you are in a company, usually you have to, watch tons or go through a lot of learning, watch many videos, internal videos that are going to teach you different things. And if you can watch them in your own language, your level of engagement, your level of learning is going to be much higher. And so this is a huge problem for so many companies. And I find it like super interesting to be able to resolve this and help people learn in their own language. Yes. Actually, we started the company with this massive mistake. We thought they were more of like a B2C move, thinking that translation will help people break the language barrier by sending videos to one another in their own language. So like, I have a really cool friend in Mexico. I'm going to send him a message in Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. So I'll use this tag to like send him a video in Spanish. So we started actually with an app that was more like B2C focused. And we started to test it. It was really, the goal was really to do a really fast test, proof of concept with an app that we built very quickly. Throughout this process, it gave us a chance to speak with many people because we were already out there. We were already vocal. We said, hey, we're a startup. We have an app. We can do translation. And so that gave us the chance to speak to companies, agencies, and there was a one saying, hey, your app is cool, but if you want to make it a web app for companies like designed for us, we would definitely use it. And on the other side, on the B2C side, people are saying, hey, this is really cool, but this is just a B2C use case. I'm not ready to maybe pay for it, or very few people were ready to pay for it. Of course, this is expensive. This is, this tech is expensive. So you have to get people that want to pay for it. You have to get people that want to invest, that really have the need to use this solution. And so starting as an app gave us a chance to meet other businesses, other companies, and really helped us understand the needs and the pain points of the video translation and the dubbing market. Yeah. So what you have to understand is that there is traditional ways of doing video translation. Today, if I'm a company and I want to translate content, what I might do is find a translator, find someone that's going to do the dubbing. So like someone that's going to be like an actor, find a studio and go through this entire process of translating a video into another language. One, it's like super expensive because you have like multiple people working together to get this. Two, it takes a very long time. And so many companies were not willing to spend the time and money, or if they're willing to, they'd love to find a solution that's faster, cheaper, and more engaged, that engages the user more. And so we met a lot of companies that are really super willing to either set up a new workflow when it comes to video translation or change their workflow for something that's, again, faster, better, and much more affordable, like really much more affordable. Yeah. So we see that there are a lot of companies that are working on video translation and dubbing. So we're not the only one doing this. And if you type video translation online, you'll find other guys or other people doing this. We believe first is like you need to deliver the highest quality. And the fact that we don't just do dubbing, but also lip sync, it gets every time. I'm telling you, it's every time you get this wow effect of people like being so amazed by the fact that you can see yourself speaking, I don't know, Japanese or Arabic or Spanish. And this is like a real wow effect. And that's super important. But also, we believe that it's all about building the right workflows. So when it comes to translation, you need to integrate this into your entire video process. So how do you just edit the video and then translate it and then add subtitles, and then do you want the original subtitles or the translated subtitles or both, and what do you send the videos, and you need someone to check the translation. So we're not just building a tool where it's like input and output. We're building a solution to help companies translate the videos and integrate it into their processes. And just to give you an example, something we do and that only few people are able to do. If you want to translate a video with us, we'll show you the transcription, so the words being said in the original language, and the translation, the words translated to the new language. And you're able to change this, you're able to edit this. So you can tailor the translation exactly to the words you want. And that is super, super important to so many of our customers who are very, very specific about the words they want to use. Yes, great question. So what you'll see today when it comes to translation is that there are two ways to do this. Some people use subtitles, and actually like many people use subtitles, and that's really cool. And some people use human dubbing. Both techniques are not as engaging as doing AI video translation with dubbing, you can also add subtitles, and with lip sync. So I think the main difference between the traditional techniques and the thing we do at Hello8 is just the impact, the quality that we aim to be at like a much more of like a futuristic level. But also, again, if you just compare to human dubbing, you'll see that it's a process that takes much more time, that's much more expensive. So we want to create a user experience that's just easy. And when you think about AI, when you think about ChatGPT, when you think about all this latest innovation, you realize how much people are expecting something that's easy to use, that's easy to understand. And we want to do the same with video translation, something that you understand how to use it, you see great results, and you can tailor it, you can play with it, and you can get it to the quality you want. So really, it's really about, again, it's much more engaging. The output as a level of engagement that's much higher than the other techniques. It's much faster, and it's much more affordable. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I mean, I don't speak Japanese, and if I'm translating something to Japanese, how can I tell whether or not the translation is good quality? That's a really good point. So first of all, with Hello8, you're in control. So we're not only showing you the translated text, also showing you the original text. So if you see something that's wrong in the original text, you're always able to say, hey, I want to change, like let's say I'm speaking in French or in English, I'm saying, my name is Gary, I'm from Paris. And so I'll see in the tool, the transcription, I'll see the text, my name is Gary, and I'm from Paris. And then I'll see this in Japanese. Of course, I don't understand Japanese. But let's say that I was seeing that the transcription was wrong because somehow, it happens sometimes in like 0.1% of the case. I'm able to edit the transcription, click retranslate, and then it's going to update the Japanese text, and then I can like retranslate the video with the right words. So that's one thing. But of course, you can tell me, hey, but even if the transcription is perfect, maybe the translation is not good. So in that case, we've always give the ability to our customers to engage with translators, like human translators, to be able to come in and to be able to check the text. Because at the end of the day, if you want the text to be perfect, I always say, AI is amazing, but AI is 99% accurate. There's always, even now with the latest model, something called hallucinations. So we always want to invite human in, and we think it's a collaboration process between AI and humans to get the best out of this tool. Yeah, that's a great question. So when we started with Hello8, we quickly said, we're just a young startup. There are things we're going to do and things we're not going to do. And so when it comes to pure text translation, this is something that many companies have been working on for years with like tons of engineers, and we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're not going to reinvent this. So our business is not to be a competitor of DeepL or Google Translate. Our business is really about the entire experience around the video translation, dubbing, and lip sync. So when it comes to this specific part of the translation of the text, like DeepL, for example, we're going to use API that exists. We're not building this part ourselves. We're building some AI models ourselves, but not this part. But the thing we do when it comes to pure text translation, and I think you're bringing a super important point, the thing we do is that we're not only translating text without context. We're translating text thinking, hey, in French, in English, let's say, you are saying, my name is Gary, I'm from Paris. And that, in English, took 5 seconds. When you translate it to Japanese, ideally, it would be great if the length of the translated text in Japanese also took 5 seconds, so that in the output video, it kind of like matches the input and output. And so the work we've done here on text translation is to use and define the right prompts that when we ask the AI to translate, the AI is not just going to give us one translation. It's going to try many, many translations until it finds one translation that matches the length of the duration of the video, or of the specific video segment. So the way we've designed it is kind of like a fight between different AI model, all providing different translation, and one model that's going to discriminate and say, okay, this is good, but this is too long. This is good, but this is too short. Ah, this is good, and this is the ideal length. Because we're not just translating text, we're translating within a video, and video as a concept of length and duration. Yeah. So we're kind of like a three-step process. One, upload the video and select the target language. So I have a video. Let's say we've recorded this interview. It's in English. I want to make it available to people in the Spanish world. So I'm going to take this video of our interview, upload it, and select Spanish. Two, after the transcription and the translation, you'll see the text in English, the original, and the text in Spanish. And there you're going to be able to say, hey, maybe I want to change some words. I want to proofread. I want to make sure I'm happy with every word being pronounced. Okay, cool. Three, I'm launching. So when I'm ready with this, I'm launching the dubbing and the lip sync. So I'll get the same video, but the entire audio is going to be replaced with the dubbed audio, and the lips are going to be synced so that it really seems that we're speaking Spanish. And at every time of the process, I can re-edit, I can change, I can share with the rest of my team so that they can proofread on their side. And that's the main concept of Hello8. Now, you can go further, add subtitles. And really also, it's all about collaboration. So we've added folders, we've added ways to collaborate with your team to organize all your videos so that you can get to, you can collaborate with your team, because many of our customers are agencies or companies, and so collaboration is key. But again, upload, proofread, and then dub with lip sync. Yeah, that's a really, really big challenge. That's a really tough question. So today we're able to translate from about 100 languages to 29 languages. So you can take a video again, from, let's say, French to Spanish, or Chinese, or Japanese, so many languages. And as of today, you're not able to say, hey, I want to translate in English, and I want it to be, let's say, a Canadian accent, or like a South African accent. That today you're not able to say. But we have this step of the process called voice cloning. With voice cloning, the AI is going to learn patterns in your voice, not only the voice tone, but your voice style. If you make a lot of pauses, if you accelerate, if you speak loud, if you speak at low level. And so when you're going to get the translation, you'll see that the video translated is going to respect all this different aspect of your voice tone, of your voice translation. And that's going to give you a very specific accent, that's going to match specific cultural nuances. But again, to be frank, we would love for you to be able to select an accent, a dialect, very specific nuances. We are not able to do this today. I just want to be very honest about it. But we're definitely working on it. Yeah. So when we launched Hello8, we thought that one of our main customer is going to be the YouTuber or the influencer. And there's one thing that is coming up on YouTube that's going to be a huge change to the platform from our perspective, at least. So YouTube is working on this new feature that lets you select not only the language of the subtitle, but the different voice track and the language of the different voice track. So you're going to be able to watch a video in English and just select in the settings and go and say, voice track, I want the French voice track. And you will still watch the same video, but now the voice will be in French. This new feature is today available to only a very small set of YouTubers, such as Mr. Beast, or like really like big names, but it's not widely available yet. We are talking with many YouTubers that are telling us, as soon as I have as a YouTuber the feature to be able to upload different voice tracks, I'll start using Hello8. And so when this is going to happen, we're going to work on this YouTube integration. And when other social media platforms are going to be able to integrate similar features, we'll integrate with Vimeo and other social media. Today, the process is, I think, quite simple. You just, translate your video, download it, and then upload it wherever you want. But you're bringing a really great point. It's all about integration. And when you talk about a YouTuber, you think, okay, I translate, and then I'll say, push to YouTube. But when you talk to a company, now they don't care about this. They say, translate, and then push to my internal system of training videos. Translate and push to, Learning 360 or like push to Coursera. So it's depending on who's going to be your customer, the integration process is going to be very different. Yeah, this is a huge point. This is really, really super key. We're playing with AI models that are crazy powerful, but can be scary. And, I definitely understand people that would be scared of an AI that can speak like them. So the first thing I want to say is that when it comes to security, we've put the highest standards of encryption at every step of the process, and we've really focused on security. But now, when it comes to ethics and privacy, we really want the user to be in control and to be able to say, like, I agree that my voice is going to be dubbed, that my voice is going to be cloned. But if you don't want your voice to be cloned, that's okay. We won't clone your voice. We won't teach a model to speak like you. We give you other voices within our platform, so like pre-made voices that you can use. And some of our users are coming in and saying, no, I want to translate my video, but I don't want the same voice to be used. We're going to use the voice of John, or the voice of Paul, or the voice of Emily. Those are like, voices that are pre-made in the software. So this is super important. And when you think about this entire industry that is using this super powerful AI model, I think we need to set up super high standards when it comes to being able to track what is a content that is original, what is a content that's been modified by AI. And so there is this industry standard called C2PA that we're joining at the startup. And the goal, for example, is to be able to integrate a watermark within the video, like an invisible watermark. It's called forensic watermark, that you can't see it when you watch the video, but we're able to like check the video itself and be able to say, okay, this video has been modified by AI. And so we can track what's real and what's modified. But the one more thing I need to say about this is that we are not in the business of fake news. We don't want to do this. We have the very strong technology, but we're only doing translation. So even if we're using your voice and we're modifying your video, we're not going to make you say something else. We're going to make you say the same thing you've said in the original language, but just in another language. And that is super key. And I think it's something like super profound. Like those technologies, they are scary, they are powerful. We're not sure, what people are going to do with it. So we have to set the right boundaries so that within the user experience, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel secure, and you're going to feel that you are in power. And this is what we're putting forward. Yeah, so the first step is that we ask for consent when it comes to cloning a voice. And that's super important. And, if you're going to use one voice, you need the consent of the person. And I think when it comes to copyright issue, like we see ourselves, copyright is super complicated. You can have videos with different copyrights. When you're going to translate it to a new language, different copyrights. So there is a little bit right now in many countries of a void in the regulation in the law of what happens if you use a voice when it comes to copyright. Right now we're kind of like telling you, you're in charge, you're responsible. We're not adding any copyright from our side. The content that you put on the platform, that you translate with the platform, it's your content, you own it from A to Z. But if you have different copyrights, then you're responsible of it. We're just the tool that's going to help you do translation. And of course, if you're doing voice cloning, make sure you have the consent of the voice of the original person speaking within the video. Yeah, definitely. We've worked with many companies, and we've worked, for example, with so we've worked with many companies that are translating their internal videos when it comes to, for example, training. But we've also worked with people doing e-commerce, like selling online. And I just have this one guy that sells accessories for iPhone. So let's say the iPhone case, and his main market is France, and he creates those marketing videos in French and then puts it on social media. So those are ads that are going to lead them to his website to sell his accessories. And so one day he came to Hello8, translated his ad to Italian, and then start pushing this new ad to the Italian market. Suddenly, he saw like a massive increase of sales to the Italian market. So his revenue just got a bounce from this country. He actually told me that's quite impressive because the ad in Italian performed better than the ad in English. So just have cases that you're not sure why, like translation can just easily open different doors. And I think that was a really nice success stories, and I'm excited to get more entrepreneurs, more people doing e-commerce using Hello8 to translate their ads into other languages and to just increase their revenue. I think it's going to be everywhere. For example, movies, TV shows, NGOs. I think it's going to be really everywhere. You're going to see many, many more contents being translated with AI. But also, something that's challenging to do today is live video translation, like instant. Today, if you upload a video that's like 1 minute long, it's going to take us 1 minute to translate the video, maybe 2, maybe less than 1, but we're going to get to a stage where everything is going to be much faster. And so I'm going to be able to go on a Zoom call, speak French to you, and you'll hear it in English or whatever your maybe your native language might be. And this is going to be, I think, a very, very, very exciting moment for everyone to be able to jump in a Zoom call and be able to speak any language with anyone. We are working on this, and we know we can do it from a technological perspective. It's still like very tough, but it's going to come. And I'm sure in 5 years, we're going to be able to do this. Some of the models that we use, such as lip synchronization, are very heavy because it uses, images and you need to refine many models to get it right. But I think, for example, dubbing, being able to speak and just the voice is going to be dubbed, I think this is going to happen not in the next 5 years, but for sure in the next, 1 or 2 years. Right now, the speed of technology is so fast. things are going to come not in 5 years, but like 2 years. I think you need to update that question. What's going to come up in the next 2 years? Things are evolving so fast. So yes, anyways, real time and just the amount of content being translated is going to bounce. It's just going to explode. I believe that we're going to split two different things. One thing is going to be translating as a tool for business. This probably is going to be given to AI. But I think when it comes to speaking different languages, there is much more like a cultural aspect to it. There's much more of like a learning, connecting to people, real time, real life. So I think people are still going to speak 2, 3, 4 languages. And today, the people that speak, 5, 6, 10 languages are people that are passionate about languages. So I think speaking different languages is going to be about culture, about languages, about passion, about whether or not you want to learn about someone else, learn about another country, learn about where they're from, and being able to truly understand the details of the culture. Because even if AI is wow amazing and it's perfect, there's still going to be a difference between understanding the tiny details of how someone speaks and the word that they use. And I think people are still going to learn different languages. I don't think this is going to go away. I think it's yes and no. So some very defined tasks are going to be replaced. There's no doubt about this. Some tasks are going to be replaced. But I see AI much more as a tool. So I don't want AI to replace me. I want to play with AI to get to the right results. So when it comes to video translation, I think AI does 99% of the job, of the work, but still I can edit, I can come in, I can change, I'm in control, I'm in power. So when it comes to creative fields like video production, we've seen models like Suno AI for music, we've seen Sora for our video. Of course, these are not going to replace us. This is going to change ways we work. And I understand that people are scared about this because some people are going to lose their job. That is true. Some people are going to lose their job, but also some new jobs are going to be created. Is it a 1-to-1 ratio? Like, is it are we going to be like this? I don't know, but we need to. I think we need to embrace it as much as we can. We need to regulate it as much as we can. We need to help people transition, and we need to see it as a tool because that's the only way we're going to be successful. It's a really, really important question. I would say anyone that wants to start an AI-driven tech company, I would give you the same advice to any other entrepreneurs, which is one, what problem are you passionate about that you want to solve? Don't build AI just to build AI. Try to solve a problem, find a problem that you want to solve. And once you find one, try to speak to like 20 people that have the same problem and why they have this problem. And that's true for anything, any company, any business. Like, what is the problem you're trying to solve? And who are you trying to help? Who are you trying to solve this problem for? Now, when it comes to AI, more specifically, I'm going to tell you, if you have a real problem that you solve, then you'll find a technical solution. You'll find the people, you'll find the tech. That's not an issue. Of course, it's hard, but you're going to find the solution. But think about, am I going to be share-locked in the next 1 year? So what does share-locked mean? So it's an expression that came from Apple that started to deliver more apps in their, let's say, in iOS. And so there was this app called Sherlock that died because Apple just did the same thing. So don't build a technology, a business that's going to be completely revolutionized in the next 3 months by ChatGPT. Don't build like a ChatGPT wrapper, and in 3 months, ChatGPT is going to include this feature into the product, and then you die. It happens all the time, and it's really tough. And I asked this question to myself: is Hello8 something that's going to be just a new feature of ChatGPT, and then I'm fucked, and then the business has no value because you can do it in one click with ChatGPT? And I don't know. I don't think it's the case, because what we're building is workflows. What we're building is the experience of editing a video, which is not something I believe you're going to do in a chat. You want something that's very specific. And also, what we do is putting like 10 AI models together, not just like one thing. So again, what problem are you solving? Who are you solving it for? Speak to people, speak to your customers, speak to your users. And then when it comes to AI, just make sure that you're not going to be completely scratch right out of the earth in the next 3 months by a ChatGPT or by Apple or by a Microsoft or by one of those big companies, because you're not going to stand a chance against them. Yeah, well, I would imagine that people watching these videos are super interested about AI, and that's definitely my case. I've been in this field for the last 10 years, and I think we all want to innovate. We all want to define what's tomorrow going to be, and I think we also need to think about what is AI for good. And I'm not telling you have to build some things that's going to save lives or like save the planet. I mean, if you can do this, amazing. But you can build a business tool, that's fine. But what is the essence of what you do? Like, how is it going to help people? And to me, I don't put it forward because I don't think, oh my God, we're doing AI for good. Like, we're not saving people. Just want to be honest about it. But when I look at what happened on Earth, on so many like wars, I still believe that if people could speak a common language, if people could understand each other better, they would not fight as much. If you can speak with your enemy, you're already like half the way towards peace. And so if you can bring some aspect of technology and maybe AI with something that's important to you and that's good for humanity, I think you're going to be much more passionate about what you do. And this is, so all of this has always been within me to say, okay, we need to unite people in this world, and AI can help us do this. Thank you so much for having me. I was super happy to answer your question and to get to speak with you and your audience. Take care.